can come forward and use mine. Let's save time, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Remy Ajanifuja. I'm with Baobus Technologies. We provide smart transit advertising. My question is basically for anyone, and specifically for Mr. Tolaram. I can't remember your name. So for FMCGs, it's hard to measure growth in market share. What systems do you guys have in place for measuring something that is, like you said, data is hard to get in Nigeria? Data is hard to get in Nigeria, yes? How do you measure, or what in-house systems do you have for measuring your growth in market share?
Unfortunately, I can't share that. It's not something I can share. That's part of what they call trade secrets. So I can't share what I'm using to.
I need to read your lips. I'm not like how to measure growth in market share.
How do you know?
Okay, so if I'm just
in 60 seconds, I'm standing already.
Right? So growth in market share is, what is market share? Market share is basically purchase. How much of my product is being purchased vis-a-vis my competition. So I'll put it back to you, because when you say there is no data, it's just because we're not digging deep enough, right? And we're not providing channels or collaborating properly. If you want to know if a brand is selling more than, you just go to the market, visit the market. So you've put a board there, visit the market to see before this brand, before we put Golden Mon on this site, how many tons, how many people were buying Golden Mon, and vis-a-vis maybe Kellogg's or whoever the competition is. And then now that this brand is 3 months later, what has been the uplift? That's basically what market share is about. It's just basically how much of my brand is being purchased. So as site owners, as brand custodians, when you put up a site anywhere, please be attentive, try to understand how that is impacting on the brand that you're promoting. So
thank you.
A few seconds. I was just going to add to what she said. So you need to understand that from the very beginning, the reason why I'm thinking about probably advertising on the JCD code board is because there's a problem I need you to solve. So if I'm approaching you, the question should therefore mean, what are you trying to achieve for wanting to advertise? So I think from that, you can always have responses to whatever questions that you have.
Fantastic. Let's put our hands together for our amazing panelists. Please come together for a picture before we go off the stage, before they kick us off. Thank you so much. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you. My name is Scholar Andem, and it was awesome moderating this session. Thank you all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Energy, now your energy. That's what I like about you. That's why I wanna be around you. Oh yeah. Melodies, not the melodies. That's what you like about me. That's why you wanna be around me. But Timbani Kinsoro, Melody more go. I get shy when I look at you, but I know people. Timbani Kinsoro. Melody more go. I get shy when I look at you, but I know people. Oh yeah, energy, not your energy. That's what I like about you. That's why I wanna be around you. Oh yeah, melodies, not the melodies. That's what you like about me. That's why you wanna be around me. Oh yeah, give it to me nice and slow. You the only woman that I know. You're my heaven, you have my home, my own. Cause you got me hypnotized when I look into your eyes. You do fine, but I don't feel talk. Oh, Timbani energy. That's what I like about you. That's why I wanna be around you. Oh yeah, melodies, not the melodies. That's what you like about me. That's why you wanna be around me.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our moderator and our panelists. Round of applause for them. Now, if you think you heard a lot or you had a lot of information or you learned a lot from this last panel session, then trust me, I'm standing on rightful authority to tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet, because we have more for you today. Our next panel session, we'll be talking about something that's really, really interesting. It's something that has been picking up, especially just after the pandemic, talking about influencers. And we're going to be talking about unlocking new realms of influence. But while this particular panel session will be happening, we are very sensitive to the fact that some of us, our stomachs might be grumbling right now. So what we're going to do is we have snacks for you. Right now, it's not necessarily a break per se. We just want you to go get your snacks and come back and sit down while we have the panel session. So we have our hostesses that will help us. We're going to go line by line to get our snacks, and then we get back to sit down. We munch on something while we're listening to the next set of a panel session. So please, let's just do that orderly, please. Thank you. So please, let's just grab our snacks over there. We're going to go line by line. Our hostesses will definitely coordinate on how that happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next panel session, the topic, like I said before, is unlocking new realms of influence. And to have this conversation, we're going to be having, the first person I'm going to introduce is a comedian and founder of House of Ajebo Animation, Jenny and Keddy Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for a man who has made us laugh for so many years via stand-up comedy and cartoons. Make some noise for Erem Emeka, a.k.a. Ajebo. Round of applause for him, please.
I need some loving for the road, 'cause I don't dey work for studio. This is the life I chose. You are the one I know.
All right, to join Ajebo in this panel, we're going to be having a lady, of course, the head of Business Air Power Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Juliet Naji. Round of applause for Juliet Naji. All right. Do you need help? Okay. All right. Over there. Yeah. All right. The next person will be joining them is the Executive Director, Prota Media, Rilwan Ajiferuke. Do we have him here? Round of applause for him.
I need some loving for my soul.
Round of applause for him, though.
And I know if you do, I'm on my own. This is the life I chose. You are the one I know.
All right, as a matter of fact, Rilwan Ajiferuke is Executive Director of Plura Media. Plura Media. Round of applause for him once again. All right, we are supposed to have another comedian. This one, of course, is big on social media. He is a comedian, MC Lively, Michael Sonny. Do we have him here? Round of applause for him. Is he here? Okay, perhaps he will join us to join the conversation. Now, to moderate this session, we took out time to pick someone who knows exactly what we're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I welcome a digital creator. His name is Emmanuel Agbaeze, a.k.a. C Classic. Round of applause for him. Round of applause for him as he comes forward.
You are the one I know. Always give
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The challenge I have is we have 50% of the audience trying to get food, and the other 50 listening to us. But that notwithstanding, we'll have to get to work. In the industry that we play in, the show must go on. So definitely this show will go on, and I'm delighted to be sitting on a panel with very heavyweights. I have my brother there with a white beard. There's something about people with beards, so it's a good thing. And I have Ajebo, who I've watched and known for over a decade. And we have our gentle sister here as well, head of business. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about something very interesting. It's a conversation that can build a sub-industry in the Nigerian creative economy. And I'm hoping that we do that and birth this new sub-industry. So please listen, share your ideas as well to see that this comes to life. So without any further ado, I will run into the conversation, and I hope you get something out of it. So, I mean, we all have our phones. We are on social media enjoying content. And digital creators chase attention online, while out-of-home companies own some of the most eye-catching spaces offline. Both groups already know how to tell stories, just in different arenas. Yes. I think the distraction is a lot. Ajebo is asking that we give them 5 minutes to sit down. Do you say aye? No, I'm talking to my Senate members. Okay, the ayes have it. I think we'll wait for 5 minutes and then speed things up.
Ooh, yeah. Fire boy, that's so on. Baby, so the big I'm making my me shit. All the girls calling me baby. See me see baby. Fine boy, wake cause I be seeing baby. Tell me what you need again. Mama forget, see that baby. Me I be complete package. Oh, me I be fight for your love, but I no be beg for your love. I no be beg for your love. I no be beg for your love. Me I be fight for your love, but I no be beg for your love. I no be beg for your love. No, we yeah, baby, yeah, baby, baby, be a vibe, be a vibe. I want you to treat me like a kid, baby, 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 be a vibe, yeah, be a vibe. Waiting you need, baby. I get the sauce, get the juice, baby. I got the everything for you, baby. As long as you there. Oh. Bad boy, when you know for use, play. I be king, I be me, shit. Girl, you know, so my love far away, far away. Me, I be fight for your love, but I don't be beg for your love. I don't be beg for your love. I don't be beg for your love. Me, I be fight for your love, but I don't be beg for your love. I don't be beg for your love now. Baby, baby, more. Baby, baby, be a vibe. Be a vibe. Treat me like a king. Look into my eyes when I'm singing to you. Take this love that I'm bringing to you. Don't tell me how this got a meaning to you. Take this love that I'm bringing to you. Oh no, 'cause I need you to feel my love in your soul. I need you to feel my touch on your body. I need you to feel my love in your soul. I need you to feel, feel, feel. Tell me where you day. Last Saturday, I go meet you there. 'Cause I miss you every day. Call me any day, I'll be on my way. I'm one call away. No matter this is, yeah, I no shot. Keep my action. Done it too much, I love you with passion. Jessica, Jennifer, family last shot. I used to be like no one fornication. You don't know, baby, my son. Girl, I want some. I say now you, only you, I want the sanction. Yeah, I'm all yakba for my catalog. When I only you, where I want for my mansion. Girl, I'm not here to the confuse you. Girl, I'm only here to the convince you. That I love and I need and I miss you. Me, I love your body and your melodies. Follow me, go. Give me ginger. Taking me high with my energy. I never love you, finish you. Don't leave me, oh, Roma. Baby, let me take you to Ibiza. Let me put the ring around your finger. If you make the memory to linger, I will give you anything you want. I go jet and I go galant, I no go fear. You do me tumba, but I don't care. I mean my feelings and I just want to make you know. Tell me where you day. Last is Saturday, I go meet you there. 'Cause I miss you every day. Call me any day, I'll be on my way. I'm one call away. No matter this is, yeah, I no shot. Keep my action. Done it too much, I love you with passion. Jessica, Jennifer, family last shot. I used to be like no one fornication. You don't know, baby, my son. Girl, I want some. I say now you, only you, I want the sanction. Yeah, I'm all yakba for my catalog. When I only you, where I want for my mansion. Yeah, yeah.
Hello,
Confuse
hello.
me. Tell me why you they confuse me, oh baby. Your body too attractive, and the way I fall for you, it be like magic. Oh no, the way you did me, I go there.
All right, please, if you've gotten your snacks, please make your way to your table, please. If you've got your snacks and what to eat, please kindly make your way to the table so we can continue. Thank you very much.
Absen, founded in 2001, is a global leader in LED display technology and solutions. With 18 subsidiaries worldwide, our products are exported to more than 140 countries and regions. 12 consecutive years, #1 by export value. To date, we have more than 60,000 successful projects and installations. We at Absen adhere to the core values of honesty, gratitude, and responsibility. We're committed to honesty, practicality, and genuine passion. We follow the 3 no principles: no lies, no fraud, no bribery, ensuring the utmost value for our customers. Absen's 5 major product lines cover DOOH, rental and staging, Pro AV, Absen Icon, creative display. Guided by vision and mission, Absen builds core competitiveness driven by truth and speed. Absen has created 18 major information systems and 16 processes, advancing towards digitalization, mobility, and intelligence. Absen has implemented truth and speed in all our business activities, with Digital Absen leading efficient corporate operations and industry-leading net operating cycles. By June 2025, Absen's brand value had surpassed $2.3 billion. Absen incorporates green development into our strategy, initiating the Absen Green Initiative. We value environmental protection in materials, design, energy saving, and manufacturing, advocating for a full life cycle carbon footprint verification of our products. Absen upholds the principle of win-win cooperation, releasing the 8 LED display standards for the industry's sustainable development. Upholding our mission of making the world shine more, we contribute to the continuous and healthy development of the social economy. We foster a spirit of honesty, striving to be a beacon of commercial civilization, focused on a mutual benefit. Absen, making the world shine more.
Your media assets are valuable, but are they working at their full potential? At Moving Walls, we bring media owners and advertisers together on one unified platform, turning screens into high-performing, measurable, and easily accessible inventory. And to help media owners make the most of every opportunity, the platform is built around 3 powerful solutions: to monetize your inventory, measure campaign impact, and maximize network growth. Unlock new revenue streams with calendar-based availability, self-serve booking, and open auction deals. Measure campaign impact with precision. Know exactly who engaged with your ads when and where. Manage and scale every type of your media inventory with dedicated dashboards, organized, powerful, and built for growth. Trusted by leading media owners across 30+ markets, powering billions of audience impressions and millions in ad spend. Let's transform out of home together. Explore how Moving Walls can help monetize and measure your media today.
Your boy born there. Yeah, confuse me. Tell me why you they confuse me, oh baby. Your body too attractive, and the way I fall for you, it be like magic. Oh no, the way you did me, I go day, and I no go fit to come another day. Although I go to call you my baby, and together we go there, we no go fade away. Why be say that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make it run away, make it fly away. Oh no, no, no. Why be say that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make it fly away, make it run away. So make you call on me, call on me. You don't say I go pull up on you. You don't say I go what? Call on me. You don't say I go pull up on you. Yeah, yeah, you don't say I go pull up on you. And so we enter part 2. Stepping at the place, everybody confused. Everything move, I like cruise. Smoke and booze, oh yeah, make you feel good. Oh, do, do. Now when you day, where I go day. And I don't go fit to come another day. Although I go to call you my baby. Now together we go there, we no go fade away. Why be saying that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make it run away, make it fly away. Oh no, no, no. Why be saying that you in my mind? Say you no be option, no be lie. Oh yeah, make it fly away, make it run away. So make you call on me. You don't say I go pull up for you. You don't say I go what? Call on me. You know say I go pull up for you. Yeah, yeah. You know say I go pull up for you. What do you know that? 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 What have you done to me?
Ladies and gentlemen,
What have you done to me? I don't know. Believe me.
ladies and gentlemen,
It got to be you.
I think we can start in maybe the next 2 minutes. Feel free to eat and listen.
I need you for my family. It must be you. It must be you. Only. I need you for my family. It must be you. It must be you. I'm weak. I need you for my family. Oh baby, oh, been in love with you for days. Done there with you for so long. Show more. I'm crazy, oh, girl, I'm crazy over you. Now waiting man go do to make you know. What you won't believe if you don't believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg to leave. What you won't believe if you don't believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg to leave me. What have you done to me? I don't know. Yeah. What have you done to me? I don't know. Believe me. It got me you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, DJ.
I need you for my family.
We just want to make sure that you don't go home late. That's why we want to kick off as soon as possible. For those who are still trying to get their food, feel free to do that, but if we do it quietly, you help all of us. And then those standing can then take their seats, so we kick off immediately. I see people still trying to catch up. We can do this after 40 minutes, trust me. Hello, everybody. The men who are still standing, please, kindly take your seats. Fantastic. Kindly take your seats. You know, just text your friend hello, and then you can speak to them after 40 minutes, so we don't keep you waiting. Thank you very much. Thank you. The hall is getting calmer and calmer. Marketing practitioners are the best people I've seen. This is supposed to be a fight, but it's been a very blissful conversation so far. You will agree with me that we can start in another 2 minutes if we remain this calm. Thank you. So, I have my panelists here. I have real one. I have Juliet. I still call her Ajebo, but I don't know. Bear with me, man. I've never called your real name. So, I have Ajebo here. And we want to have an interesting conversation. I think it's one that every practitioner should listen to because this might birth a new sub-industry. If we're able to create a sub-industry, that is more money for out-of-home owners, more money for creators, bigger exposure for creators, better collaboration for out-of-home practitioners. So this is very exciting for me, and I hope we do justice to it. So I'll get on immediately. I really want to ask real one. I did a research, and somebody said, ask real one. So I think I'll ask you my first question. You know, it's blissful to have somebody call a name. So, you already know digital creators chase attention online, while out-of-home companies own some of the most eye-catching spaces offline. Both groups already know how to tell stories in different arenas. Where do you see the biggest overlap between what creators want and what OOH owners can offer? More like, what can each side bring to the table that the other can't get on their own?
Okay, clearly, for content creators, they already have their audiences. Bringing it on the out-of-home space basically is to expose it to a wider audience. And not only that, it also affords them the opportunity to have what I will call an experience. Because the truth today is the fact that most brand owners today want to have an experience with their consumers. And there's no better place to do it than out of home. So basically, you're bringing together online to offline and offline back to online. So there's a synergy that happens there. And basically, that's what out of home will give you. Because either you're doing the digital platform or using the static platform. It's now a function of what technology we merge together to be able to create an experience for the audience out there.
Julia, do you want to say something to that? Yeah, do you want to add something to that?
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is brands need to recognize the gap in the market, because whenever there is a gap in the market, the gap means sales. The gap means there is something that is to be profited by someone or some group of people. OH and creators, that is the gap in the market. How can they collaborate? How can they work hand in hand? For outdoor advertising, we bring leverage. We make people feel seen. We bring something called offline platform in the hands of consumers. Why creators, they bring online platform. They want their voices to be heard online. Your brand will be heard online. So if you bring those two together, the collaboration will be something that is very, very key, very, very big, something that in Nigeria, we haven't tapped into the market right now. And it's something that brand needs to tap into.
I mean, that's interesting. But then, Ajabo, beyond getting your face or cartoons, the stories on the board, which for us is just visibility, how would you measure the benefit of a billboard appearance compared with the million views or million clicks that you would have gotten on Instagram?
Thank you. That's a very interesting question. Hello, everyone. So first of all, this is a very, very interesting conversation. Knowing that what's conversion for an online influencer is clicks, right? So this conversation is one that I don't think it has ever happened, and it's something that needs to happen. You never know until you try, right? So to your question, what will I count as measurement? Exactly. There's nobody clicking. So how do I count it? So I think it will have to do with experience, as he said, or what we'll normally call street credibility. The fact that you walk into a room and people can identify not just online, but also offline. There's as much as a million views or a million clicks look like you have a lot of presence online. Trust me, there's a huge market offline that do not even know that you exist online. That's one. Secondly, there's another market who they just see you online, but seeing you offline will make their day. So yes, I think that measurement would be to the extent that people who, like the drivers, the bus drivers, those people, the common man on the street, that will be the measurement. The fact that you also have that segment of the audience loving your brand as well. Thank you.
I mean, that's interesting. But there's a part that every creator likes. It's money. It's the same thing every outdoor practitioner that I know like. Even more money. Now, creators enjoy licensing fees from YouTube and TikTok, for example, and Meta. If we were to have a collaboration like this, let's say we have a billboard or multiple billboards at the airport, and the airport receives over 5 million individuals annually. And there's a collaboration to have a creator's creation, maybe 10 seconds of his creation on those boards. Can we think of a model to make sure that the creator is compensated for his IP, and at the same time to make sure that the out-of-home guy is not wasting that space that he would have given to MTN?
I think there is no straight-jacketed approach to this when it comes to the issue of revenue, as it were. Because again, if somebody owns the idea, somebody is creating a channel for that idea to be seen out there. So it's a function of, I think it will be more of an approach that is a case-by-case approach. We can't sit down here and say, is it 70-30, is it 40-20, or, because there's a whole lot that goes into this now, in terms of how is the execution going to take place. Creating the content on one hand, clearly, and there's the part that borders on, okay, is each channel, will it be ideal for this idea we are trying to propagate out there? And of course, the role of the brand owners is also there. Don't forget. So it's a case-by-case situation. We can't say this is the model that will be most suitable. It's in the course of execution and conversation around delivering this that will also give rise to a whole lot of things. Because this is a novel idea. And when it's a novel idea, you can't say this is how it can go. Because in the course of that execution, you're bound to be faced with different roles being played by everybody involved in ensuring that we have that objective we set for ourselves to be achieved.
I hear you loud and clear. But there's something I need to mention. We have platforms. YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, these are platforms. We want to make billboards platforms. So for 1 minute, let us look at all of the billboards as platforms, just platforms. Because I hear us talking about brands already. We will come to collaboration with brands that would, bring the money. But for now, the creator who is creating on Instagram doesn't get money immediately. He creates for a period and then gets brand collaboration and licensing deals. So let's look at billboards as platforms. First and foremost, do you, owners and users of billboards, do you think it's a novel idea to give 10% of your billboard space, 10 seconds rather, of your billboard space to a creator creating content for entertainment only, no brand integration?
Again, we probably have to take our mind back to where we are at some point when you have a program or an idea. I'm sure Ajebo has passed through that route, so we can easily have a conversation around that. I'm sure there was a point in time when, for TVs, some of the comedies we see today, they had to be given a sort of space to hear an idea, even when there's no brand to sponsor the same program. It is in the same mode we need to look at this as well. The model about how much will come into this is now a function of acceptance by the people who want to sell the idea to. An idea on its own will not sell itself. It is in the acceptance of the idea that we'll begin to think of what kind of model can we use to be able to monetize this. Because it's about monetization now.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day. I'm saying to you, I have a platform that can deliver this kind of demographics and interest. And you have this content that can run on it. It is in pushing it out there that people can now embrace it and begin to see that, okay, how can brand ABC leverage this to push what they have to sell?
Fantastic.
So it's about monetizing it, but to now say this is the specific model we can work with as we sit down here, it's a difficult one. But I can tell you that it's an idea that we can be willing
to test,
to run with.
Okay.
And I'm sure it is also part of this that has informed a brand like Ajebo, also collaborating with a whole lot of out-of-home platform when they have.
Okay. Then I've heard from the billboard people. Let me ask a creator. You have something to say as well?
Yeah,
please go ahead.
Okay, so I think there is an influence to be tapped into. When both worlds come together, there is a segment of the market that collaboration can benefit. Even without us monetizing it in the short run, we know that in the long run, this is going to bring money. So it's something doable. It's something we are open to.
Okay, they are open to it. Ajebo, are creators open to creating 10 seconds content to feed a new platform, billboards?
Okay, thank you very much. I think our work is to create. Give us a timing and we'll create it. I mean, Reels used to be like 15 seconds at some point, right? So of course, we can create for 15 seconds. Talking about the model, like you mentioned, for what model can work if we were to do that. It's a novel idea. It's something that has not been done before. Both parties must be willing to collaborate. Like you said, we're now viewing the billboard as the platform, right? So what that means is, so there are two different models for monetization. You can either monetize directly from the platform, like what YouTube does, where you're on the platform and you're paid to be on the platform. Or what we do here in Nigeria. Instagram is not, Instagram, you just keep posting, and that's another business model, right? You keep posting till you get enough popularity, then brands now come in, So I think that will be the kind of model that can work for this kind of partnership, where the billboard, because literally, why do brands sign influencers, popular faces, people with huge online communities? It's because they put their faces on those billboards. Once you see it, you're attracted, and you want to see what they are offering, right? And then you can now see the call to action. So how about the out-of-home companies? Imagine them, first of all, leaving the brand out, pitching to the influencers that we can come together and do this. So for instance, hey Achebo, can you give us a 10 seconds Tegwolo sketch that we can put on our billboard? 10 seconds, people can see it and be entertained without sound. I go home, I do my brainstorming. It's animation. I mean, I can make you laugh in 10 seconds using animation without saying a word, right? We create that. Now, it's not a partnership with the brand, it's a partnership with the board. And then that thing, they now play the role of Instagram, right? And then we put it there. You just pass the board every time, and you laugh for 10 seconds. And then we can gather enough data to say, oh, this is working. Now, that partnership can now go to the brand and say, hey, guys, you would have, imagine signing Tegwolo and putting him on the billboard. Right now, we are already signed to Tegwolo. So people see the billboard, they see Tegwolo do an impression for 5 seconds, and they are laughing. And then after 5 seconds, the brand advert comes up. So it's better leverage when the out-of-home company is speaking to the brand. So I think it's a synergy that can work if we come together and have that agreement and say, hey, we're going to add you on our board to get the attention, and then we're going to pitch it to the brand. So as you are pitching to the brand, you are pitching for yourself, and you are pitching for the creator. Win-win. Thank you.
I mean, I think that's really interesting. But Juliet, brand managers are all about analytics, measurements, numbers. How do you think we can measure the effectiveness of such collaboration with a creator on a billboard?
Okay, so for this to work, we have to leverage DOH, which is the digital billboards. That way it's easier measured, it's easier seen, and the collaborative measures that we put in place would work perfectly fine. Because content creators, they usually create video content. And where can video content be displayed? On digital advertising. For us to want to measure this, we need platform that is measurable. We have lots of billboards in Nigeria where you can easily measure the numbers of viewers, the people that see your platform. These things are already being put in place. Billboard owners now know that these things are important for us to sell going forward. So we are putting that in place. There are technologies that can be used to measure the influence, which is already ongoing. For the company I work with, it's something that we're already looking into partnering with some of our partners from South Africa. We're looking into doing that as well. So before the end of this year, it's something we can put to our client and say, oh, this amount of people saw your ad, this is the reach, this is the total number of leverage you've gotten from the ad, from the billboard. It's something that can be done, and it's something that is already being done as we speak.
I mean, a fantastic one. It's looking like we're having a sub-industry in the creative economy already. But then, real one. In television, whatever the content is that you send to television, there is a channel director that first certifies that the content is fit for public consumption. In a conversation where we now have a new platform, not TV, not radio, but billboard, who becomes the quality assurance officer to make sure that content that Ajebo has produced is fit for the people in Ikeja environs or is fit for public consumption? Who becomes the quality assurance officer?
Okay, currently as it were, a typical advert you see out there has gone through some level of a check with the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria. Basically, it is still a content that has to be put out there. So the checks will still have to go through the necessary channel. The only challenge we probably might have here now is the ability to go to the market as fast as we want to. So clearly, some level of training has to go in between the two. The content owner needs to localize whatever content to fit into the ethos of wherever it's going to be used. Because it's also important that you can't throw out anything out there. So the aspect of regulation still comes in, but the challenge we're going to have now is the fact that you can't eat the market as fast as you want it to be, because we need to ensure that whatever we're throwing out there aligns with what the regulatory council are acceptable to, which basically is what, a typical advert, either commercial or product or service, goes through before it hits you out there in the market.
But then, this is for you, this is just content. You can make content today and tomorrow is on YouTube. Will the creators be happy to wait for months for this thing to go through Acon and the likes?
Sorry, let me chip in something there. Regulatory approval now is almost 24 hours in some cases. So it's not a case of weeks or months. No, we've gone past that stage.
Ajabo is just creating the content. He's not advertising any external brand. Are you happy that this thing would first go through the regulator?
Well, it's a new stream of income. Whatever needs to be done, I'm sure we'll be open to doing it. However, Nigeria. Okay, let's not go down that route. But in Nigeria, there's a lot of stress around what is acceptable and what is not. Seemingly little humor that you want to put out there. Somebody's raising an eyebrow, I think the ethos are the same. What is acceptable is what is acceptable, and even online, online is very strict. Very strict. As little as even taking off your shirt on TikTok, you can be banned, right? So, yeah, and I believe that the creators already know what is acceptable, but if you have to go through the regulations to make the partnership work and unlock a new stream of income, why not?
This is sounding like the man who is about the money here.
If you can tick that box, then the next thing is, how do we go about it? How can I incorporate my brand into this content to serve the purpose of giving me that sales that I'm looking for? Because it's about, ultimately, like the first panel session did identify, is about sales, sales, sales. And for a typical out-of-home company, it's about location, location, location. But however, backed with that location is the aspect of insight and data. So essentially, if a location is in GRA, for example, and the kind of audience I'm looking for can be found around there, and I have a content that speaks to them, why won't I be involved in such a novel idea?
Fantastic.
Because it speaks to what I want to achieve. What I want to achieve is that if my brand is connected to this content and my audience can be found around there, obviously, what am I doing not being there? A case in point is the Jollof war that we all part of. What has been achieved from there came from an offline, and it was brought online. And I could tell you on that particular day, some people were monitoring online a whole lot of things. Those who didn't even know about it at all. So you can imagine what the brand, without me mentioning their name, achieved on that particular day, which spirals beyond just particular day, and it's still a news content up till this point that we're talking about. So it's about you are creating an experience that you cannot use money to buy.
Great. But then, Juliet, what do you think? I mean, you work with one. How would you, and Ajabo is here. You guys can sign a partnership deal right now after this. But then how do you pitch this collaboration, DOH First Campaign, in collaboration with a brand like Ajabo, creating maybe a particular series?
Okay, so I have seen this happen in other markets. For example, there was a campaign by Spotify where they had content creators make content online, and then this same content was projected in a DOH screen. So what the content creator did, they went to that screen, take pictures of themselves with the ad running on the screen, posted it back on social media, and they tagged it from phone to billboard. That is like elevation. Oh, I just started this thing from my phone. Oh, I don't know, say I go blow. Now I'm on a billboard. You know, that is one idea a brand can use to amplify or milk out the benefits from this collaboration. Another idea is, let's say, for example, I sell billboards at the airport. I tell a brand, you know what? Tell a content creator to put your QR code on their platform, online. Why I put that same QR code in my platform in, let's say, the departure lounge of the Lagos International Airport Terminal. The key thing there, or the catch there is, when travelers are going through this part, they take a snapshot of the QR code. They also tag the content creator and say, see, we saw your QR code. You know, it brings the CTA, like there's a call to action already. People are willing to negotiate or collaborate with such ideas. To me, I feel that is the way brands can leverage this collaboration.
I mean, this is fantastic and it's good. I mean, a round of applause, great. It's good you're talking from experience and what has already happened. But then, Ajabo, there's never been this collaboration, especially from Nigerian creators with digital out-of-home owners. How do you think creators can pitch to brands? Because you have, you know, an array of brand collaborations happening already. So how can creators pitch to brands to say, we have a new campaign that you can, you know, enjoy or integrate a DOH campaign first, a DOH first campaign? How do you think creators can do this?
Okay, thank you very much. I will just pick up from what she said, you know, using QR codes, for instance. Now, imagine, I'll use my cartoon character again, Tegwolo, which is loved by many. She said something about from phone to billboard, you know. So how about we bring the influence from online to the billboard? So Tegwolo has a subscriber base of 2.3 million on YouTube, for instance. And I mean, you're doing like 6 to 10 million views every month. So he has that following. People love Tegwolo. They use him for memes and different stuff. Imagine Tegwolo on a billboard at the airport holding a QR code and just with a funny face and say, scan me. Right? People will scan. People will scan. Or imagine Tegwolo holding a product from an FMCG, holding a product and he just takes a bite and, you know, whatever it is, or he's basically, we use him for a 10 seconds call to action. We're taking that influence he has online.
So clearly, we're there already. It's an idea that is, if I'm allowed to use the word, it's been delivered. It's just to seal and package it, really. The future is about experience. And the content coming from the likes of him is an experience that we're already part of it by being online. What we're saying now is that we're bringing it to a platform that is going to give it a wider reach and even more brand trust and acceptance. That is what OH brings to the table. Beyond just saying that we are offline, we are online, we are saying bring it to a wider audience and get a wider reach. And so if he's talking about 2-point-something million, I'm talking about just one location that delivers close to 2 million on a daily basis. You multiply that by a month, and you see the figures, as it goes up. So clearly, what we are bringing to the table is trust, recognition, and reach, which any other platform cannot deliver.
So I'm going to add something. The creators' economy, or the content creators' economy, are set to be grown to a $250 billion economy as at today. We are not trying to steal from them. OH has their own money. And we are one of the most powerful powerful offline platform. In fact, when new media came, they thought traditional media would go extinct. But as at today, OOH holds the most powerful, according to research. So this collaboration is something that
income for creators. And you see, once there's testimonials from 1 or 2 people, that's all you need. They'll jump on it. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. So I want to open the floor to my other Senate members. I've spoken to the Senate leaders. If you have a question, just raise a hand. If you have a question, nobody has a question for this new industry? Let me see. If you have a question or a contribution, can you wave? We don't. So, I think I'll ask oh my goodness. Please, a microphone to her. I think you can ask the question, we will hear you. Hello, lady, please. Step forward, thank you.
Hello, good day, everyone. My name is Priska. So my question goes to Ajibo.
And then 1 month down the line, they will come and apologize that those people that were scammed, I did not know them, and all that. So as a creator, you need to do your research. You need to know who you're working for. Business is built on trust. So you need to also show yourself trustworthy and understand what you're doing. A lot of people think it's just about creating and putting a brand in it, and they call it brand integration. A lot of creators need to start to attend conferences like this, where you present yourself as an actual brand, where package yourself in such a way that you're an entity, you're a brand, and I think for the creator, for the brands, these are some of the things that they look out for. It's not just being funny, it's not just, I can tell you off the top of my head, some creators that are very, very popular, they have a huge following, but brands won't work with them. Maybe off the kind of content they post, off how they even handle, they can't even pronounce the name of the brand properly. I've had creators say, this close-up is the best Marcellina in the world. Like, okay, so you have to train yourself to be brand ready. A lot of people think school is a scam until they get in this kind of field to play, and then you just see that they don't even know what they are doing. It's just this person being carry camera shoots. He do am well, so I on my own camera. So you get to that point where you are not just creating. You know that you are positioning yourself to be able to partner with global brands. There are things that brands look out for before they can partner with you. And if you don't build that in your brand, you'll never attract them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was solid. But before we run away, I'd like to take a few words from Real One, and then Juliet, and then Ajabo. So Real One, what would you like to summarize with?
I think in summary for me, what we are seeing here is a future that speaks to the fact that collaboration is what can take us to where we're going to. And we have in our hands a platform that year in, year out, measurability is becoming something that is key in our industry. So clearly, for brands or would-be users of that platform, they are sure of the fact that it is a return on investment. It's not just a case of this platform is here, but the platform that is here has data and is measurable, and therefore, it is worth investing your time and money into.
Fantastic.
For me, I want to actually speak to we owners of billboards, we salespeople of billboards. I just want to put it out there that the world is changing. Things are changing. It is not business as usual. We need training. Outdoor owners need to train their salespeople because right now things are changing. Brand wants to hear how you can solve their problem, not just sending site lists to them. So my key output is train yourself. You know, if your establishment is not training you, try as much as you can. Read more, make more research, train yourself so that when it's time for you to speak, you'll be able to speak correctly. Thank you.
Okay, from the creator perspective, I think we need to keep this kind of conversations going, have more avenue where we can talk about this and get us to understand more how we can make this work. I mean, both from the creator's perspective and from the billboard owner's perspective. We also need to keep an open mind to make it work. I mean, from the creator perspective, once you talk about things like this, we they send you rate card. And from the billboard perspective, I'm sure it's the same thing. We're all about our money, but for us to make this work, we need to understand that we need to collaborate, and we need to give room for testing, and that will mean trying it out, putting money behind us first to try it out, you know, from both ends. Thank you.
Beautiful one. So I would just add by saying spot opportunities. Most of us didn't see this opportunity yesterday. We see the opportunity today. Leverage the opportunity. Leverage your expertise in the industry. Leverage your network. Most of you have a number of creators as friends. See the collaborations that can spiral immediately and make all the money there is to make. The world is yours. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for having us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again for our panelists. I am sure you learned one or two things, if not a whole lot from them. Round of applause once again for them, please, as they make their way. All right, now, the next panel session we're going to have will be a very, very interesting one, especially if you're someone who is into SMEs or if you're someone who's into local business. The next conversation will definitely be something that will pique your interest. But before that, we're going to be right now talking about Confirm FM. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Igwe Otwetwe and Mikun Baby. Round of applause for them, please. Round of applause as they make their way.
She won't stop pushing until she see my cadaver. She won't stop pushing until she see my cadaver. Our car system now I seen a day. No time off, no holiday. No time off, no holiday.
All right, Lagos, how your matter be? I bet if you enjoy the show, if you enjoy everything so far, can we please put our hands together for LOMA, please? I just want, what do you understand by the word confirm? Correct. And that one shows, say, we know they deal with any brand. We they deal with correct brand. And that's now why Confirm FM, now one of the radio sponsor of a correct brand like this. I bet make we clap for this brand again. Now correct doings we they do here. And quickly, more we talk about Confirm FM. Now, Confirm FM will not just be radio where they play music. Will not just be radio where we say we just they carry talk. Everything what would they do for Confirm? We talk, we musical, everything are waiting, Confirm. Confirm FM, we never put in for Lagos. If you notice, 3 months now we don't do for inside Lagos. But over 72 radio stations for Lagos. Confirm FM presently, inside the space of 3 months, we don't jump from 72, enter 35.
I beg a round of applause, you know easy.
That's not that they call growth. Now growth we can't here talk about. Go ahead.
And for Confirm FM, as it already talk and so, now authentic radio station, PG radio station. And we get about 3 C's where we stand for.
Yes, sir.
I beg wanna take notes because I go ask question. You see goodie bag for my hand. So the 3 C's, the first one, now compassion. Now we stand for. The second one, now communal. Community radio station. The third one, now comedy. You see as everybody just they laugh so. So now we did so.
Yeah, you know say last, all work and no play go make us dull. Not be so.
Not so.
So as we they work, we go to do it, they play. You go to join the work and the play together like a goosey and ogbolo soup. Make everywhere for just, you know, understand? And that's so the matter they be. And based on our levels be, we now community radio. We they enter the community. We they make sure say, what you they feel, we they feel them. So if you they happy, we too we they happy. If you they vex, we too we they vex. That's now why for all our radio programs, all our radio belts, if you they listen from the morning show onto the morning jollof, you go to hear what we talk about community amebo. How many of you know that before? That's now why, because we they enter community. Inside there too, you go to hear things like body matter. So we put you for mind. If you know they can't be, or your body know they confirmed, how you want to listen to us. Now, if you trek come up from morning jollof, enter inside the confirmed afternoon lounge, you go to hear things like town hall meeting. That's not because we put you for mind. We create segments of shows where we say, even you go follow us relate. We too go relate. As Mikun Baby, Iyalode #1, don't talk about compassion. That one show say, how would they relate with you? Will they bring you close? We know they put you far. That's now why for Confirm FM, we know they see you as our listener. Will they see you as family? Clap for us, I beg.
As we already they round up, so we get plenty goodie bags today. So first question, as we already finish, I bet wait to be the first 3 C's where Confirm FM stand for. Anybody where we now go collect this goodie bag? The first 3 C's. My sister where they back where wake up, I bet come front now call collect her. Mama come now they wait you. I beg get patewa fun wo ejo. And they clap for her. She reached there. They clap at door.
Our car system now I seen a day. No time off, no holiday. No time off, no holiday. Pick two, that's got check up. Buy my ticket, make I take off. A quality time on Gucci bag, which one you want? You can't teach your
kid. So the first is compassion.
Gonna do this.
Mama, you go talk and for peace. You go talk and for peace.
Oh yeah, now it's not compassion now. I don't take talk pigeon.
Oh yeah,
Communal and comedy.
I beg clap for her, she gets her.
Madam, thank you. Well done. Oh. If una dey listen to my show, una go know say e get how they behave. Oh. First of all, I get another goodie bag to give. But this time around, I need somebody to help me. Not say Confirm FM, we stand for pidgin. Somebody tell me the other day, say, Igwe, speak English. Now, as I say English, don't pay me. Now, pidgin, they pay me. And they collect from pidgin. So now here we dey. Now, I need somebody to represent the pidgin lingua corner. Somebody to help me translate or transcribe this word. Listen, oh. You know this song by Craig David, I'm walking away from troubles in my life. I'm walking away to find a better place. Who fish change to pitch it for me?
That line.
That line. I'm walking away to find from troubles in my life. I'm walking away to find a better place. Who fish change to pitch it? Who they represent?
Anybody
oh yeah, who they come? Who get mattered or make it come now? Who get mattered or come quick now?
Mona result now.
You know how to. My sister, come. I'm walking away from troubles in my life. I'm walking. Sing to find a better place. Oh yeah, stand up.
Do I have to sing it?
I'm not singer for you. Which one do you have to sing it? I'll take one for you.
Okay, so I dey waka come up for a while. A better day for my life.
Finish. She get them. She not get them. We get people who go get her here. I bet we not get time. Madam. Welcome. You dey speak in English? Wow.
Okay. I dey waka dey.
You sure say you dey waka dey go?
I'm walking away.
Yeah, go ahead.
I dey waka dey go from the wahala wey dey my life. I dey waka dey go.
I beg, got take, Got take. I beg, one thing. Would they appreciate everybody when they also come out to support and to be part of this Dream LOMA 2025 conference. We'll not say we'll go still come back again maybe next year and other years to come. But from us here, Confirm 89.5 FM, would they appreciate everybody. You get one lingua, you get one slang, our motto, what we'd always use. One we say Confirm FM, you go say waiting.
We there for you.
Confirm FM.
We there for you.
We really there for you. And just to let you know, more of these goodie bags today. Yeah, more of these goodie bags. So as the event they close, as they come outside, we team go block you for corner, ask you one or two questions, and they just give you one bag to show say we there for you. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, round of applause for Confirm FM. I'm sure you enjoyed that, right? Okay. Now you know exactly what to expect when you tune into that radio station. Now it's a good time for us to also, recognize our other media partners. Of course, Confirm FM is one of them. One of our applause for Confirm FM again. That's right. I also want to recognize CTFM. CTFM, round of applause for CTFM. Make some noise for Inside Radio. Inside Radio. Also want to give a shout out to Brand Communicator. Round of applause for Brand Communicator. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Radio Now. Radio Now. All right. Also, make some noise for Panache Studios. And also make some noise for Beyond the Billboard. All right. Now, when it comes to words, words are not just words. Words can be used as a tool. Words can be used to change our mindset, to actually evoke some level of emotions from us. And we have someone in our midst who that is what she does for a living, basically. Ladies and gentlemen, right now we're going to be blessed with spoken word from the one and only Efe. Make some noise for Efe as she comes forward.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Efe. I always have to correct the pronunciation. So Efe is Yoruba, but I'm Benin, so it's Efe, F-A-E-A. I am many things as well as a spoken word artist, and I find that people typically feel like spoken word poetry is not for everyone, but I disagree. I feel like it requires you to be very present and listen, and that's not something we often want to do. So this is me asking you to be present here. And yeah. Isn't it quite a thing how we human beings refer to ourselves as less? Constantly searching for something that makes us special as if we were simply ordinary. But isn't it quite an ironic thing when the very nature of our being human speaks to the miraculous? From the intricacies in our creation, like how our breath and body met, to the everyday miracles of our manifestations, like how we transform language from thought to tongue, or how we exist in beauty. How can we then say that we are ordinary? If you need proof, look to the existence of things that surround you even in this moment. See the works of our hands. We are not ordinary. See how we create. Hold things as thoughts, as concepts in this place we call our mental space. This place is crazy, right? It's out of this world. Maybe that's why we call it mental space. Just kidding. We hold these thoughts, we sit with them long enough till they become things we can communicate with our hands and words. We are not ordinary. Arranging words, images, systems, codes, calling order out of chaos, call it pictures, stories, images, graphics. Surely, surely we are divine. For what else is divinity? If it's not the ability to call things out of nothing and let them be good, and we do this every time, we are not ordinary. Do you think you're ordinary? Do you know that you have the ability to birth things, and every time we stand, we create things, we call things into being? See, this is an ode to the creatives, the creators' mind, the thinkers, the writers, the artists, the music, or the visual kind. This is an ode, because we are not ordinary. See how we change the world. See how we command attention with just a jingle or a single line. We take pictures that take up space in the mind, first seen on billboards, but they become something that takes up space longer than that which stands in the sky. See how we change the world. Skits that carry laughter into aching hearts, adverts that trade ignorance for insights that change lives, music that heal wounds, medicine cannot reach, images that ignite movement, stir love. See how we call things into life. We give vision into each other, agents of expansion and exposure by just being. See how we bring things to life. Loud proof that man is far from ordinary, and we are creators. Our proof is on city streets, in cars, on bus rides, seen on screens, a laptop. The night we leave our mark, we are creators. And each work is a spark of the divine. We are creators. Together, we can make a fire that lights up the world. Thank you.
Angas minang zoiti
Ignigi excess to VIP. Oh, wanna say kanya my flesh with nana. How my thing is like. Say nothing chola ne groupie. Ah, ufuna backbone na me. Nyala. Say nothing chola ne groupie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're having fun, let me see you raise your hands. If you're having fun, let me see you raise your hand. All right, we're not done. We're still going to have another very interesting conversation. Now, this one has to do with business, SMEs, and local businesses. We're talking out of home advertising for SMEs and local businesses. Now, to have this conversation, we have the sales manager for Jodu, Abimbola Ijani. A round of applause for Abimbola Ijani. Also, we have the business unit director for Ad Player Nigeria, Mr. Emmanuel Adediran. Round of applause for Emmanuel Adediran. I hope we have him here. We also have the founder and the CEO of Luzo Digital Network and Media Limited, Bidwell Nkemakolam Okere. Round of applause for him. And we have Communications Manager for Chi Limited, Toluwalashe Bakare. Round of applause for him. We also have Lagos State Manager for Smedia, Olubumi Kole Dawodu. A round of applause. Now, to moderate this particular conversation, we have the head of programs, City 1051 FM, Mr. Rex Okiche. A round of applause for him, please. Hello.
All right. Thank you very much, Chiwete. And good afternoon, everyone.
Let me take Nigerian context. Companies that has from 5 employees to maybe 50. And then their annual turnover, maybe 2 million to 50 million. But the reality in Nigeria, we know that there are one-man businesses in Nigeria that control billions. So we'll say our own, like Nigeria, will have our own way of doing things. Across the globe, when you come here, you do things like in Nigeria. So we'll talk from Nigerian perspective. Thank you. And then, what are the challenges? Why do they have this misconception about OOH? You know, in those days, when you talk about OOH, you see a big, massive billboard. Maybe in the most prominent, the unipoles. And when you price them, you find out, not even when you price them, you find out that most people who occupy them are the big brands. You see the Guinness, the Nigerian breweries, the Milo, all those big brands. So it kind of created this kind of fake impression that, look, for you to be up there, you need to have the reach. You need to have that depth in terms of your money. So the cost becomes a very, very tough thing for SMEs to really, really consider. They are also worried about how do they get the creative done. Big challenge for them. Those days that we used to have hot shops and little units in the road we call business centers. Those people cannot do any creative. Those are graphics. So they have challenge of being able to create a message that can actually resonate with their audience. They also have regulatory issues. People like LASA, I know they are here. People like Akon. Because some of those messages you will need to really go through to make sure that they're in tandem with the culture of the people, how we do our things. There are some messages that you put out there in South Africa. When it comes here, it becomes an issue. So SMEs are always also afraid. How do we go about it? How do we go about getting our messages approved before it goes out? Another challenge they also have is because they lack the negotiation power. They cannot collaborate. But these things are all breaking down now. Will I say that in the last 5 years or so, things are changing and changing very, very fast. So there are other ways, creative ways, SMEs can actually play in the OOH industry and get value. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Bidwell. But let's also explore, since we're talking...
need out of home. Also, that means that you are still growing, you are still at the teething phase, budget is tight. Most likely you are getting a lot of your clients from word of mouth, referrals from friends. But at the time when you really want to scale and you have the capacity to handle influx of demands, because if you create demand and then there is no supply, it's going to backfire. So ensure that your operational efficiency is top-notch, such that by the time you launch out of home, you can handle the demand that comes with that. And for me, a lot of, back to what Mr. Bidwell mentioned, local businesses require local strategy a lot of times. I was on my way from PAU this morning and I saw one of the banks. They took over a bridge panel. And the bridge panel, what was written there was to announce that there's a new branch in that location, in that area, Awoyaya. And what does that do? Automatically it drives traffic to that location. So they knew that it was time for them to get traffic in that location, and they used a bridge panel to do that. So first, beyond budget, ensure that as a business, you have the capacity, your operational efficiency is to the level where when you create demand, you can actually supply. Because if you're a food vendor and you want to go out of home, but you are still managing a small kitchen, you have just one staff, and then you have, based on your out of home advertising, 100 orders come in a day. How do you want to cope? So ensure that your operations is top-notch before going out of home. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me come to you now, Abimbola. Yeah, so now that we have a sense of out-of-home advertising for SMEs, for those of us who are not very conversant with the term out-of-home, what types are available and which ones will be most impactful for an SME?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the question. For out-of-home, we categorize them under three categories of platform that we have. And I'm using platform because it's much better than saying billboards. We have out-of-home advertising is any signage outside of the home. So we have three platforms. We have the static platforms, which includes bus shelters, static billboards, posters, lampposts. We have the digital platform, which includes digital billboards, digital bus shelters, mobile trucks that has digital screen. Then we have experiential OH. Something like that is OH. OH started, we have, can you hear me? Okay. Branding is OH. So building brandings when you go to market is also OH. So experiential booths are OH. So OH is not just limited to the billboards that you see. But for SME, right, for the static and the digital platform, with static, it's very affordable. Affordable in the sense that if you look at the longer exposure that you get from a static platform, static platform is just static. It's you. You're not sharing the exposure with anyone. If you convert that to the digital and you want that kind of exposure, it's a bit expensive. But for static, it's cost effective. It's good to get good brand recall, sustained presence. Especially you can use it for local targeting in such a way you have a billboard very close to in close proximity to where your store is. It can help drive traffic. For digital is, and I might sound partial because the assets that I have mostly are digital. But you know, digital is everything. It's visual, it's motion, it's very interactive, it's engaging. So knowing that with digital you can get high impact, because imagine here, we have a screen alone without putting anything here, just people watching me, it captures attention. You can't get that with a static. So for SME, you have to look at what a static can give you, what a digital can give you, then make informed decision based off that. With static, it's cost effective, but we also have digital that is very flexible. Like you can buy peak time only, 2 hours. But you don't want to launch a campaign now and just buy 2 hours. You want to maybe use digital and static. Just like I said, you need static very in close proximity to where your store is, and you want to mix digital, because with digital you can plug your creative to just target a particular type of people at the right place at the right time. So digital is everything, is high impact. Static is longer exposure. So just decide whichever fits the objective that you have for your brand and go for it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. It was very practical, your explanation. And I want to also recognize the presence of another panelist with us who is from Smedan, and that's the person of Olubumi Kola Dawudu. You're welcome. Okay, so back to the conversation. Let's now talk about creative strategies for SMEs to employ. Now they've decided to do out-of-home advertising. They're at that point in their business where they feel they have traction and they want to take it to the next level. But because of costs and possibly the type of business, what creative strategies do you advise SMEs to employ when they want to start out of home?
Thank you very much for that question. Good afternoon, everyone. I think for SMEs, creativity is non-negotiable. And that's primarily because you don't have the budgets that the big brands have. And when you find yourself in a space like this, you need to deploy your communication in a way that gets you a lot more for less. So if I were an SME leveraging out of home, say for example, I want to do a billboard, right? I am not going to just put my ad and that's it. I'm going to consider creative expressions like die cuts, right? And what does that help you do? It helps you stand out from the rest, okay? Another creative way around budgets is there are lots of out-of-home partners, especially on the digital billboards, that have tokenized their inventories, meaning I don't have to pay for 1 full month, okay, to be on a billboard. I can pay, I think there are some billboards that even allow you to pay for as little as 1 hour in a day. If I target traffic time, right, on a very busy intersection and have my billboards there for 1 hour, something as little as 150 or 250,000 would actually, that you see on the busy intersections and traffic. Those, it's A-stars or A-frames, right, that you have. They are relatively cheaper than others. The only problem is you have to constantly make sure that, what's the word? You reprint because they might get damaged easily and all of that. So creativity is non-negotiable for SMEs. And these are some of the, smart ways in which they can leverage out of home to deliver value, compared to the budget that, they have. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your response. So let me now turn to you, Olubumi. Talking about SMEs, what are some common mistakes or pitfalls that SMEs face when they want to go into out-of-home advertising?
And good afternoon, everyone. I'm sorry I came late. I had to rush from Ireland back to this place. So what are the common mistakes SMEs make in terms of out-of-home advertisement? Every small business owner wants to advertise, right? They want to get to that position where they are visible and everybody sees them. So the first mistake I think they make is to first of all analyze, what this will do for me, for them as a business owner, and then also analyze the costs and weigh possible ways of overcoming this cost, and then they can now proceed to wanting to do that. But without that internal processing of this process, it becomes very difficult for them, and then it becomes frustrating. The second is to also seek the advice of professionals, and then even come to Smedan to say, oh, okay, this is my plan, and then we can link them to those that we know that can, probably do this for them almost cheap, or to advise in better ways to go about it. I think that's another pitfall. Then the last one, which is common to most small business owners, is they want to copy what is a bigger business is doing. I don't have anything against copy, but of course, our own slogan says, think big, but you have to start small. So you have to start from somewhere, and the first place to start is the place of advice, to find out what, and then to internalize your cost or your process to, to get to that point. I think those are those three that I have to say. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Let me come to you, Toluwase. When it comes to advertising, we've spoken about out of home, the platforms, creative strategies to maximize your budget and all. So, but let's talk about the communication itself. What role does brand storytelling have in ensuring that whatever is communicated on your out-of-home advertisement has that impact that an SME would want for their business?
All right, thank you very much. Chances are that people don't even know him there. So ensure that you pay attention to local nuances and use that to tell your story as an SME. And for a lot of SMEs, those things are around you. Your friends, your community, the where your business is located. If you pay attention, you will see those local nuances and use that to tell a story. And I also want to chip into what the man from Smedan mentioned. For SMEs, please, as much as possible, leverage relationships. You don't have to pay for everything. Have friends in the industry, have friends who can help you with your strategy, getting your strategy right, getting your story right, and even getting the creative right. Because what happens at the end of the day is you just pick your messaging and give it to a graphic designer by the roadside. He does the shoddy job, and you wonder why you are not attracting the kind of clients you want to attract. So you have those friends. Look within your circle, and if you don't have those kind of people, be intentional about building networks that can help you scale as far as an SME is concerned. Thank you.
All right, thank you. I'm really enjoying the conversation, and I hope it's answering a lot of questions. We'll be able to take maybe 1 or 2 questions from the audience, and I'll have a question for Emmanuel. But before that, I have a question for Bidwell also. You can add to what he has said while you answer this question, and it was because we touched on static billboards and digital ones. And Emmanuel mentioned some people are tokenizing their rates now. You can, book for an hour. And she also said it's cost effective. But most business owners will look at it that if my advert or my, communication is just going to appear and after a few seconds is gone, does it give that same impact as when you have it for longer? So that's I'm trying to wrap my head around it, because we now see it's cheaper because a lot of ads will flash with the digital billboards now. But does it give the same amount of impact, or do you need to up the frequency? How do you draw a line with selecting digital versus static? Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. A lot of people have that problem. They forgot that when you are out there, you are talking to the cognitive sense. Both your eye, your body. Just like what he said. If your brand story connects with me, like when you come to Lagos, you know that there's BRT. And in the morning, everybody is hustling to go to work. And you position your brand to connect with their everyday experience. Just a minute or seconds, or even few seconds, if that person connects, it will recall. And when he gets to that touch point where the buying decision comes to play, it will recall. It's as simple as that. By mere fact that you're going on the aisles of the supermarket and you see a brand that really, really touches your emotion on the street, that's when the connection comes in. And that's where the conversion comes. So if we're able to measure it, you'll be able to, for an SME proprietor or proprietress that is in Sulere, we know that in those days when we are growing up, Sulere is known as a football community. So, and you are there. Your shop or your business is in Sulere. Why will you go and build your brand around any other thing beyond football? Because football is what is discussed in Sulere in those days. And I think now too, because of the presence of the stadium, there are people are more aware about what football is doing. When you go there on Saturday, even now, if you go to Sulere on a weekend, you find out that you have a lot of more of viewing centers in Sulere than any other place. So you build your brand around that thing that connects people around your shop. Thank you.
Okay. You wanted to add something to what he said? Okay.
I contacted it.
All right.
Okay. I think it would be great to use this illustration, all right? For those of us that have smartphones, you've been exposed to ads on platforms like YouTube, correct? How many seconds do you have before you are able to press the skip button? How many? Sorry? Less than 5 seconds. Your digital LED board has an average of how many seconds? 10 seconds. So if a digital ad that you skip in less than 3 to 5 seconds gets across to you, then of course you can be sure that the digital billboard that stays up there for 10 seconds can equally make, that impact. Now, to the point you asked, there are trade-offs, okay? If you're on a static board, no doubt you have undisputed presence, yeah? You are the only brand we are seeing for the entire period that the billboard is up. That has some merits, okay? However, over time, there's what we call the wallpaper effect that also becomes a risk for you being on a static billboard for a long time. And wallpaper effect simply means people generally stop seeing the ad after a while. And if you continue, on those billboards without refreshing your material or, doing something different, the impact or effect sort of withers over time. But on the billboards, there's that frequency that, constantly juggles your mind. Okay, so each of them has
design. What are some of the regulatory compliance issues that one might run into when they want to put out an out-of-home advert? Anyone can take it.
Okay, thank you. I would say this with all sense of modesty. I've been in the agency side. I've been a media owner. I've also regulated. So I've gone through the circle. Regulation is very, very important in the industry. It's actually a life wire of the industry, because if things are not regulated, they go out. Let me give you an instance. When I was made the DG of Imo State Standard Advertising Agency, immediately I landed, I had this, what I call them, cartel. They formed themselves into a cartel. They are based in Owerri. For them, there's no regulation. They put ball anywhere they want. As long as there's a space, they will just mount ball. I called them, I said, look, we can't continue this way. You have to slow down. You have to apply. It was a very, very messy issue for me. But along the line, I told them, look, if you are regulated, you have documents to show both the bank, both to agency, both to even advertisers that you are regulated. Because if you put board and fly away, if your board fails tomorrow, who calls you? Who do you hold responsible to? The content that you're putting up, nobody regulates it. ACON is there. Make sure that the advertiser is advised to please put your content, submit it to ACON. These days, you can get it under 2 days, highest. The minimum is under 1 day. If you want to accelerate it, you accelerate it. So regulation is very, very important. You can see what is happening in Lagos now. What is happening, you can see innovation coming in, because LASA have been able to do a very good job, even though in the last, from my own perspective, with all due respect to them, I think they are relaxing things now, because there's a lot of boats along the road or along the sideways. So regulation is very, very important for SMEs to know that it's also increase the value that you're going to pay. No matter, you'll be afraid that maybe it will increase cost, but at the long run, it is for you. It protects you. It's very, very important. Thank you.
All right, Emmanuel, you wanted to add something, but I just also wanted to stress for the regulation part, because as a broadcaster, I know there are some terminologies that you're not allowed to put in your ad. So I want you to just touch on that a little bit.
Thank you. Yes, you're actually correct. When you talk about regulation as it relates to billboard advertising, he already mentioned the LASA bit, but if you're going through a partner, I think that's sort of taken care of. The other one that needs to, we need to pay attention to is that of ARCON, all right? So the regulation stipulates that every advertising targeted at Nigerians, all right, has to be vetted and approved by the ASP, that's the Advertising Standards Panel, okay? And there are a few things they look out for. The first challenge you are going to have with your material getting approved is when you make unsubstantiated claims, e.g., we are the #1, you know those hooks that we like to use on digital and social media. We are the #1 this, we are the best of the best, we are better than the rest. Any of those kind of, messaging will be flagged by ARCON, especially when you are not able to prove, right, through an independent source that this claim you are making is a valid one. Archon's duty is to protect Nigerians. You don't want to, put out misleading advertising, okay, and then people go buy your product and then it doesn't live up to the expectation. So that's very important. Now for SMEs, the government has made it such that you are able to get your advertising vetted at a cheaper cost compared to the bigger brands, all right? So the big brands would have to pay, I think, 35,000 naira per copy, but for SMEs, your cost for that is 20,000. Also, for accelerated vetting, meaning I want to get my ads approved on time, where the big brands are paying as much as 600,000, 400,000 for 8 and 16 hours respectively, the SMEs only have to pay 150 or 100,000 for the same, period. But there's a catch. For you to qualify for that, that discounted vetting cost, you've got to have a SMIDAN certificate to accompany your advert material to prove indeed that you are an SME registered in Nigeria. So these are some of the challenges you are going to have. Things like use of foreign models. You go download some pictures online of one white guy or pick someone's picture to use without the person's consent. You know how fashion designers, they pick someone's picture from Instagram, slap it on their billboard and say, this is our product, without the person's consent. All of those kind of things would cause your ads to either be declined or you'll be asked to go revise it. So these are things we need to pay attention to as SMEs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that's why it's also good to get professionals to guide you on some of these matters. The people on that table picking pictures from the internet, barber shop, they're on that table. Okay, I like that you mentioned the SMIDAN thing, and I would like Olubumi to mention or talk us through how to get that SMIDAN certificate if you want to now proceed into running, getting your ad vetted.
And I appreciate the fact that, this is in partnership with Alcon, right? And for you to get registered as an SME in Nigeria at the moment, it's free, and at the same time, the process is also seamless. And so, for any business owner to register with SMIDAN, you just go to our website and then go to register. And click on register, and then just follow the process. I think where we might have a bit of challenge is when you don't have to take pictures, because of course it has to be in compliance with the environment, with the procedures, it has to be well illuminated and all that. Aside that, it's seamless, you can do it. I usually advise people to do it in the night. Just make sure that the room where you are is lit, and within 20 minutes you are done. So it's a very simple process. And of course, this process also translates to the fact that Alcon can now, give you some sort of certification. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So if you have any questions, we'll entertain 1 or 2 questions. We have about 5 minutes left on the clock. So if we have any questions, just notify the MC and we'll pass the mic around. Okay, quickly, before we wrap up, let's talk about ROI. A lot of business owners who intend to advertise always want some form of ROI. So how do you measure when it comes to out-of-home advertising? How do you measure, one, the impact of your ad and whether it's triggering any sort of conversion for you? And anyone can attempt this.
Okay. Before you run your campaign, please define your objective. Make it very, very clear. What is your objective? If your objective is informative, if your objective is to push sales, if your objective is to even introduce a brand or create awareness, this will determine your ROI. If it's to push sales, basically, when you do as an SME and you do it within your environment, you definitely know when your sales has increased because of the ad. You know where you were before in terms of numbers and where you are today after the campaign. If it is to create awareness, you will know also from the number of footfalls that have come to your shops that these things are actually working. So ROI is all subjective. It depends on what you want to achieve at any particular point in time. Thank you.
Okay, Tolu, I want you to also chime in.
So, as an SME, the fact that you're a small business does not mean you should be desperate. Oh, everyone is talking about OOH, let me do OOH. Before you do anything, ensure that you do your baseline audit. If your call to action is, or your objective is you want to drive footfall to your store or to your branch, ensure that over a period of time you have the numbers. This is the number of people that come to this store on a daily basis. Now, by the time I launch my ad, I should be able to see a spike or growth as far as the number of people that come into that store is concerned. So if you don't have that baseline audit, there is no way you'll be able to measure effectively. Because what if you launch the ad or you do the out of home and then the number doesn't change? But if you have the numbers, you can easily compare. So same thing also applies if it's to drive traffic to your website. Ensure that you have the analytic tools to look at how has the traffic changed, over a period of time, so that you can know whether your advert is working or not. And a lot of times, like my brother mentioned earlier, the wallpaper effect. There are times when you need to refresh your out of home because you just see that the footfall has suddenly declined, but your advert is still out there. So perhaps you need to refresh and change one or two things. Let me hand the mic.
All right, thank you very much. Bimbo, do you want to
I just
comment?
wanted to add something that for you to track how effective your campaign is, you can decide to use the QR code. And if you have a call to action, sending them to your website, when they come to your website, you can have like a questionnaire that they can fill where it shows where they heard it from. You can use that to track as well. And also, like you said, footfall is important. That's why you have to be very, very strategic when it comes to ensuring that where you are is closer to where your OH platform is. It's very important as well. Just wanted to add that.
All right, thank you very much. We've been having such an amazing conversation. Do we have questions in the hall? Questions? I see a young lady in glasses. Can we get her a mic so that we can have that question? So that's one, and maybe one more.
Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm directing my question. It's a very direct question to Mr. Toluwalashe Bakri. Hi, sir. My name is Olamide. I've been prospecting Chi for a long time. I know you're a communication manager. I've met with Bosse Ogunyemi, Alexander, Solomon, your finance person, Michael Cyril. But I've not been able to penetrate into Chi. I know Chi is not SME. As a communication manager, how do you guide me into Chi? Thank you.
Okay. I think that question is not for the benefit of the whole room. All right? That question is personal. Exactly. So you can engage him afterwards. Do you have another a question related to this topic, please? Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for your insightful discussions. Please, my question will go to Mr. Olubimi. Is it possible that why it's difficult for some of these SMEs to embrace OOH? It's because they feel that some of their consumers or people who patronize them actually will now begin to see them as maybe premium brands and like
rethink and then open your mind so that you can get more customers. I think so.
All right, thank you very much. We can't take any more questions, but I would like to say a big appreciation to my panelists, Mr. Bidwell and Kemakolam Okere, founder, CEO, Luzo Digital Network and Media Limited. Thank you very much. And also to Abimbola Ijaniyi, Sales Manager, JC Deco. Thank you very much for being here. And also to Toluwalashe Bakare, Communications Manager, Chi Limited. And to Emmanuel Adediran, Business Unit Director at Plata, Nigeria. Thank you. Plus Acuity, Nigeria. Thank you very much for being here. And that's the end of the session. My name is Rex Okiche. Thank you for being a wonderful audience.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for our panelist and moderator. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, round of applause for our panelists and our moderator. Now, as we all know, the success for LOMA Awards over the years has not just been about the brain or the idea, it's also been about the sponsors, the brands that have confidence in LOMA Awards and conference and have put their weight behind it. And we're going to hear from one of them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise as we hear from Trade Depot. Hear from the representative, Ebun Bello. Round of applause for her as she comes forward.
Good day, everyone. Hope we're all doing well and enjoying the event so far. My name is Ebun, and I am here with Trade Depot. And I just want to introduce you to some of the amazing brands that we have right here today for sampling and for sale. We're one of the partners of the LOMA conference, and we have quite a number of products. To my right, at the back there, close to the buffet table, we have Amabile di Rosa, a juicy Italian wine. So people have already tried and tasted. So we'd like to see you come back and get a bottle or more. We also have our canned foods, that's mangrove foods. So we have sardines, mackerel, green peas, baked beans, kidney beans, a wide range of canned foods, and they are quite good and affordable. Then we have our hydration drink, which is Prime Hydration, and we also have an energy drink, Hell Energy. So please do stop by, come check what we have, and also come interact with the brand. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference.
I love what you do, you know I'm on a mission.
All right, once again, round of applause for Trade Depot. Now, when it comes to radio, it's something that I have a sentiment over, and that is because I was a radio presenter for like 6 years. Yes, that's City 105 FM. And there's always a conversation about what radio has become compared to years ago and now. And I remember having a conversation, almost like an argument, with my colleagues back then as to the fact that is radio really part of outdoor, out-of-home advertising? Well, to answer that question, we have just the right people to do just that. One of our media sponsors and media partners are here right now. So to tell us if radio is out-of-home advertising or not. Make some noise for Inside Radio. Round of applause for Inside Radio.
So, I want to ask, right? I mean, so I want to ask, right? I mean, so, 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 I want to ask, right? I mean, so I want to ask, right? I mean, so I want to ask, right? I mean, back in the day, I used to remember that a lot of us used to listen to radio in the house. I used to remember that a lot of us used to listen to radio in the house, just put on the radio. The atmosphere is not conducive. The atmosphere is not conducive. It's not fun, So I got the idea and I walked out of there. I bought what I wanted to buy and I left the place immediately. And I got back home and I started thinking. And that thought process basically brought forth the company called Inside Radio. So Inside Radio is a radio station, but it broadcasts only in supermarket locations. Right now, we are in about 70 plus supermarket locations across Nigeria, and we're talking about remote areas, highbrow areas, places like Awoyaya, Abule Egba, places like Lekki Phase 1, VI, Ikeja. We're spread across Nigeria, places in Port Harcourt, Abuja, And now, when most people hear the word radio, they really think about, oh, this is what's playing in my car or in my house or my phone. But I want us to reimagine radio not as something that is confined to our living room or to our car, but as something that you can experience out there in the real world. And that's why I want to put it to you that Inside Radio is OOH2, is out of home. And what do I mean by that? Out of home, we've been speaking about OOH all day today, and everybody's been mentioning screens, billboards, posters, and all that, but nobody seems to think that radio is OOH2. And then it has always been about capturing people's attention when they are outside of the comfort of their home, right? That's what OOH has always been made out to be. But we mostly think about that as billboards, bus shelters, digital screens, and all that. But the principle is simple. We want to meet an audience where they are, right? So let's imagine this. There's a shopper who walks into a supermarket. They've already committed their time, their attention, and importantly, their wallet to make a purchase decision. And at that exact moment, while they are walking the aisles, Inside Radio is playing. It's not just background noise. It's curated audio that informs, that entertains, and most importantly, influences buying decision. That's what Inside Radio is, to the best of my knowledge. It's not traditional radio because this radio is inside the very place where buying happens. And that makes it a very powerful and contextual OOH platform, right? I also want to say, so what exactly is Inside Radio? It's a software-driven in-store radio network and broadcasts right now, like I said, across 70 supermarket locations in Nigeria. Basically, it's audio advertising, and it is designed to create and enhance the atmosphere in the shopping mall or in the supermarkets, which is why I said the idea came from a very genuine, I walked into a place and I'm like, this place can be better, right? So that's what we've created. We've created something that can enhance the environment. Also, we can deliver targeted messages directly to shoppers while they are making decisions to shop, right? And then we can give the brands a voice inside the supermarket environments at the very point of purchase. So let's think of it as a modern, we say Inside Radio is OOH2. We're not just playing with words, we are redefining the boundaries of OOH advertising, and we are proving that radio, when brought inside supermarkets, it's no longer just about reach. It's also about timing, it's about context, and it's about conversion. So for brands that are looking to win the last battle, I call it the last battle because you've advertised everywhere else, and when it really matters is when decisions are about to be made. So for brands looking to win the last battle for consumer attention, Inside Radio is a voice in the store, and it's the soundtrack to shopping and the most direct bridge between awareness and purchase. Thank you very much.
just up when I'm poor. Anytime we get poor, really without scrub. Do you got some love? Don't mess up when I'm gone. Them know that we outside. Every day some love. She not fat. She not being sick. We some bad guy. We try to break in it. Please remember me. Please remember me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's still the LOMA Conference and Awards 2025, and right now, I would say that AI is something I believe there's nobody here who has not heard of it before. If you haven't heard of AI before, let me see your hand. Okay, so, bros, it's not possible. No way, not with the way you're looking. You definitely have heard of AI. Now, AI, of course, everybody says it's taking over different industries, and there's that argument of if it's going to take my job or not. But I must say one thing: AI is here to stay, and it's only good that we have conversations around it. And today we're going to do something like that, right? So right now we're going to be having a presentation, of course, that has to do with AI, automation, and the future of media buying. And to do just that, we have the Venkatraj and Nellen here. A round of applause for Venkatraj and Nellen. Round of applause, please, as they come forward for the presentation.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Namaste from India. And my name is Venkatraj. Thank you, Loma and Kingsley, for the time. It's been amazing. It's my first time in Nigeria. But thank you. I had a lot of suya, and I have eating it a lot. I enjoyed the meal. After that, I asked Kingsley, should I do the evening session? It looks like everyone wants to leave, bored, so am I. So I want to make this quick. I thought we have, for my presentation, I understood that a lot of media buyers, media operators, SMEs, creators have already answered or have already presented on behalf of me. So I want to just make it quick, 10 to 15 minutes to you on what we do, on how AI, automation, data can be done, right? So we all know that out-of-home is one of the traditional and one of the oldest medium. And we are the last ones also to pick the technology as well, simultaneously. So that's a sad part, but being as a family of out-of-home, we thought, why don't we start looking into automation and audience measurement for out-of-home, right? So something that I always, when I did a quick research, I know plantain chips is very famous in Nigeria. So when I looked at the market, it was almost a $1 billion market in out-of-home for Africa. And Nigeria is one of the leaders in that. And I didn't know it was $154 million approximately, which has a potential to grow up to $220 million as far as I research, right? And that's enough to give us plantain chips for the next whole life, you know, for everyone here. So that's very interesting. So we heard a lot from media buyers saying, or even the media operators, talking about audience data, ROI. So it's been a lot of conversations in ROI, right? But this is a chicken and egg situation always. If media buyers are also ready to pay for it, media operators are always ready to invest for it. And it goes the vice versa as well. So what we understood in across different markets that we have been working is advertisers want transparency, speed, return on investment, precision targeting, and less investments, right? So that has always been a challenge. And now we have innovative, encouraging media partners across all market, including Nigeria, because when we came few years back in Nigeria, audience measurement was a scientific, I mean, I would say it's a science fiction movie. It was sounding to them pre-COVID. But then post-COVID, things changed. We have early adopters in the industry talking about audience measurement. We have early adopters of media buyers, agencies, even using audience measurement, precision targeting, ROI tracking on understanding what was the brand uplift, what was the sales uplift that has been given. So what we did is, what as a technology that we can all do together that we have learned from the global standards is, with AI, audience, and measurement, you can start driving automated, dynamic, targeted campaigns to your clients. So if your girlfriend or your wife wants to buy a shoe, I think out of home is going to be a dangerous medium for the husbands, right? It's just going to think, understand their purchase history, and start buying, start pushing ads out of it. So that is something that we have always done across different markets. So I have been across a lot of parts of Africa. So I have some 5 good markets I'd like to share. Of course, Nigeria, I'm here today. Agencies are ready to adopt measurement through our conversation. Measuring smarter was also one of their part, right? So they have started allocating budgets to the precise target hours and time. So you can now start looking at selling your out-of-home medium, regardless of static, digital, as a product. So that's something, interestingly, we have started working with in the Nigeria market. Then we have learned a lot from South Africa. They have been serving dynamic ads, like I said. So they have been doing good. Ghana has now got into programmatic. I think Nigeria is still coming there, but we learned that Ghana has started investing in programmatic ads. Kenya is into retailers. Now they have moved to retail solutions, retail advertisements. And so is Uganda. They have also been exploring new technology. So with all this, I would like to show you a video of an interesting campaign that we did using AI for Audi. So that is one of our, in South Africa. So I'll just play that video. Can this be played? Okay, I'll give you a quick brief till this video gets played. So we worked with Audi and a media owner to target Audi customers who are standing at the signal with their outdated vehicle version. So how could we gain their attention for an upgrade to their vehicle? So that is something that we have, implemented using audience data and AI. So we started gaining their attention and started asking them to look at the billboard whenever an Audi comes at the screen. So that is one of the interesting campaign that we did for Audi. And okay, I think here it is. So we used an AI camera, one of our solutions as well. Billboard, they crossed certain billboards, digital billboards. We were able to retarget them on the screen. So this has been selling on a premium for media owners. So rather than selling $100 a spot, they were selling at $500 a spot. And brands are ready to invest for such kind of products. So when you come with such technologies, always don't fear to invest. Also don't fear to, ask for investments from your buyers. So if everything comes at a cost, everything has to be paid, right? So even if you make an investment, it has to be ROI driven, even for a media owner, even for a buyer. So something that I learned globally when I travel is Australia has taken that route already. 65% is digital. Even static is also have taken that route of measuring. And they always see on a quarterly basis of 20% revenue growth through these implementations, going back with reportings, going back with ROIs, every media buyer knows 100% of their marketing budget is burnt. So their target is to try bring 50% of ROI at least for the investments they are making, targeting at least 50% of it. So through that, these are some countries that we have understood. Japan, we have been working with Japan Railways, who has also, adopted to such technologies, and I see has an opportunity. So with this, I want to show one more global campaign that we did for McDonald's in Singapore, which is also one of the interesting campaigns that we did. So that's something we went and integrated with their systems with McDonald's stores to understand how many burgers, breakfast menu, lunch menu, dinner menu were sold, how many ice creams were given off, how many coupons were utilized after seeing the ad. And the interesting fact is, this all has to be done in 15 minutes after the ad. So you get something free, you get a discount. So this is something that we learned in markets similar to even Nigeria, or little at least growing markets comparing to Nigeria have taken this. Yeah. So this is in Malaysia, one of the largest digital screen that was running. So this all comes at a cost, right? And of course, every brand who gives you campaign, you could run one such innovative campaign to start with. One such campaign, you could ask investments for and start to see how this grows. And this could be an example. This is one of the best examples for brand lift. So you keep swiping your phone, your ice cream needs to be saved, and you get a coupon. So this we did in 2022, a such campaign. And after that, we have been doing yearly campaigns for similar brands at neighboring markets, developed markets, underdeveloping markets, such kind of innovations. So this voucher, it's only for 10 minutes, and this is how McDonald's have gone. So you can start thinking such ideas, bringing in such, and these are not going to cost you much, but you can charge your buyers much, right? It's time. We heard a lot of wish list from buyers, a lot of dreams from media operators. It's all at a cost again. We all have to make money here. And these investments, when it's done rightly, I think the buyers are happy to spend, is what we have learned. So, and I mean, I would like to hear some questions, but I always believe Africa has been growing tremendously across, when comparing to Middle East market, Africa is growing. And I'm surprised to see Nigeria has been capturing attention a lot. We have got good partners working here with us, and we have been few partners. So I would like to end my session today. Any questions? I'm sure you guys would not be asking questions openly, but if you have any questions that you want to ask now or later, we are at our station. If you would like to see a live demonstration of what automation is, please come with us. It doesn't matter what kind of a medium. Are you an influencer? You are a practitioner, implementer of advertisement? We have ideas for you guys that we can always discuss over a beer and, of course, a plate of suya. Thank you.
A round of applause for Venkatraj, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we would love for you to know that there's something like this on your table. Do you have this on your table? Can you see it? Something like this on your table? Can you see it? It's a QR code. Please scan it. Would love to hear from you. Of course, to get feedback from you as regards our event. And of course, if there's any other question you'd like to ask, you can.
Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remy Dupree, and I'm the Managing Director of Polygon. This is our third year sponsoring the LOMA Awards, and proud to continue backing the development and advocacy of out-of-home in the African context. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend in person this year, but I was fortunate enough to come into Lagos last year and have a chance to explore your beautiful city. Who is Polygon? For those of you that don't know us, we're a programmatic digital out-of-home business based out of South Africa, but with a very strong focus on the African continent. You could think of us as the Uber of billboards. We don't own any inventory of our own, but we use technology to connect advertisers to digital out-of-home networks and also show advertisers how to run measurable digital out-of-home campaigns, and in this also providing some new revenue streams for out-of-home media owners. Our core vision as Polygon is to create the largest programmatic digital out-of-home network across Africa, connecting just over 10,000 screens across every African country. And we have about another 3 years before we hope to achieve that milestone. To date, we've connected just over 3,000 screens. It's a privilege to be able to speak to you today and have a little chat about our business and also just exciting developments in the out-of-home space. South Africa currently leads the charge as far as out-of-home in the African context. Right now, within South Africa, the digital out-of-home market is pegged at around $120 million US annually, compared to the total out-of-home spend of about $460 billion US. We expect that within the next 3 years, 50% of all out-of-home spend in South Africa will be digital. And of this, programmatic digital out-of-home is currently one of the largest growing sectors, currently seeing triple-digit growth year on year. And from a South African standpoint, my goal and Polygon's goal is to try to emulate is looking at launching Africa's very first programmatic digital out-of-home webinar series, specifically to beef up education inside of our space. So the Programmatic Pulse, which we are launching, is a platform for learning and sharing and actually just building together. It's about empowering every African country to take part in the programmatic digital out-of-home revolution. It is going to be a platform that will be free and be created specifically for all stakeholders in the out-of-home community. So why this series specifically? This platform is specifically around demystifying the concepts of programmatic digital out-of-home and aligning everybody on the value that it can bring. It's about actual use cases and tools that are required to create a world-class ecosystem, and will include anybody from the buy side, sell side, as well as technology specialists. when we take a bit of a deeper look in terms of what you could expect from the specific webinar series in its practical format, it is just an aim to create a webinar, each focused with a specific stakeholder in mind, and that will build on previous discussions from the last conversation in terms of what creates a best-in-class programmatic digital out-of-home ecosystem from a countrywide standpoint. And each event will also pull in global thought leaders and speakers to give their experiences and our audiences to gauge, to keep the conversation going. So it is meant to be able to democratize the entire concept for the programmatic ecosystem. I've personally been on the programmatic digital out-of-home journey for the last 5 of my 16-year career. And I've been able to see not only how we can increase spend in the out-of-home market, but also keep the spend in the African continent. We're seeing a lot of budgets being used and being booked digitally, but ultimately a lot of this money is leaving our continent and going to where the tech players are based, Silicon Valley, US, etc. But out-of-home is one of these mediums that keeps money inside of the local community, and it uplifts the community, specifically where inventory is located, as well as including the businesses that thrive on this local exchange. For me, out-of-home is a beautiful medium.
To result, measuring what truly matters. To result, measuring what truly matters. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Managing Director, the Cluster Managing Director, Dentsu OOH. The Cluster Managing Director, Dentsu OOH. Round of applause for Chike Oputa. Round of applause for him.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. Are we tired? I'm tired. So I've had lunch, so I'm ready to go. However, I just need you guys to give me 15 minutes of your time. Cool? So, before I start, this is me. So I wanted to be a priest. I went to the seminary school, but at some point I found out that I liked women, so I couldn't. However, that's not what we're here to talk about. Sorry. And unfortunately for me, I support Manchester United. So people that support Manchester United will make good husbands and good wives. Because we are long-suffering and we are faithful. So basically, I'm going to talk to you for 15 minutes. I'm not going to bore you, and these are the things that we are going to cover. So typically, 5-6 years ago, when you get an out-of-home brief, what the client basically wants you to do is to reach people, okay? How many people saw my ad? How many people passed through this road? But the brief is changing, and people now ask you questions like, this billboard you bought in Oworo, how many beer did people drink because you bought this billboard? Who has an answer? So the first conversation is that the right question? Can a billboard determine how many beer it sold? Okay, who wants to help? I'm dashing money for anybody that helps. Okay. But Nigeria out-of-home landscape is changing. Now we have one of the worst traffics in the world in terms of traffic density, but what does it mean for out-of-home? So when you watch TV stations, basically what people are measuring is how many people saw your TV ad, by how many people sit on the front of the TV channel and consume. When people are marketing Instagram for you, they basically tell you that 30 million Nigerians are on Instagram, right? It makes it a good platform, right? Now, when you say that 10 million people every day are on the roads, what does it mean for out of home? It means that it's an awesome platform because people are up and about. Sorry. Now, the next thing that we look at when we talk about measurability is we have people that are out of home, stuck in traffic, doing things, but what is it that they do when they are out of home? And when you look at this data, it tells us basically people are going places using their phones, browsing, making purchases, and you see that people buy things when they are out of home. So the out-of-home audience is an economically viable audience. So we are not just reaching people, we are reaching an economically viable people. Does that make sense? Now, when people are in front of their TV station, they are not buying, they are watching TV. When people are out of home, they are able to make purchase decisions. So not only do we have an audience, we have an economically active audience. So, do we regard sitting here as being out of home? If the answer is yes, it means that if we sum the total of how much we have in our bank accounts, except me, I don't have any money in my bank account, it means that anybody that is targeting us isn't just targeting faces, they are targeting economic beings, because they are targeting people that can buy their products in location. So we've established that people are out of home. We've established that people that are out of home are the people that are economically active. Okay? The next thing that